So we'll get started. Good evening. My name is Jean Amadlen. I'm the principal of Marie-Tanguay. I'm accompanied by Monsieur Stéphane Biga, which is the vice principal of the school. We welcome you to this virtual presentation, which seems to be the trend right now. First presentation in English in a while, so please bear with me. I'll do my best. So most of you, I don't know if most of you have already a child at Marie-Tanguay, if you're familiar with the school, but the intent of the presentation tonight is to show you the school the best way we can through a virtual presentation. Usually we do this in the classroom or in a gym at the school, and you would be able to walk around the property and the classes, the gym and all, music class, to see what we have to offer, but we'll try to do our best with the presentation at hand. So what I'll do right now is I'll shut off my camera and I'll show you the presentation on a different slide. Hopefully everything is working fine. If we ever get cut off, it's because of the internet. It happened earlier this evening, not while we were presenting, but it did happen. So it's always a possibility. Just be patient and I'll come back to the presentation. So welcome to Marie-Tanguay. First off, we'll start up with a prayer since we are a Catholic school. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost. Amen. Lord, bless our kids and their families at the beginning of this journey that will take them through the ups and downs on the path of life. But first, Lord, let our kids be kids. Don't let them grow up too quickly, and let them enjoy their time at Marie-Tanguay. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. So, just so you know what kind of staff we have in Marie-Tanguay. It's a fairly large school for a French school. We have between 375 to 400 kids at any given time. The staff members that we have this year are 32 teachers, 14 educators, 1 teacher's aide, 3 custodian, 2 secretaries, and 2 wonderful administrators, which are Monsieur Stéphane and I. Of course, you know that this year is a different year in all the schools. Several programs and activities have been set aside just to ensure the safety of every student in the school. So what I'll do is I'll present you the school life as it is in ordinary times. Even though we have restrictions, we still try to find activities for our kids to enjoy. So we try to have fun even with masks and even with social distancing. In the pictures here, you see the Halloween. The kids are dressed up with a costume, all wearing masks. But we are having activities even with COVID. One of the main attractions to me when I got to this school this year, because I was in another school last year, I was in Saint-Isidore. I was there for 4 years, and before that, I've worked in a high school in Castleman and in intermediate school. So my domain of expertise right now, I'm up with kindergarten or pre-kindergarten to 12th grade. So I know fairly well what steps need to be taken for the kids to succeed throughout school. One of the main things that I said that attracted me when I got to Cornwall was the nice yard that we have, and outside there's a learning classroom in the forest where the kids can go and do different activities. Teacher will take them there and experiment, research, manipulate, find things, play with bugs, with leaves, with stuff like that. So it's very interesting and engaging for kids to go into the outside classroom, which is a very, very nice add-on. We also have a program where it's called J'aime apprendre en bougeant, like to learn moving. What we do is gymnastics for the younger kids, pre-kindergarten and kindergarten. We also have arts and sport or science for first to sixth grader, where we come out of the class and do things a little bit differently, where we experiment with stuff, we play around, we try to move and get them active while learning, which is a different approach and which is something that is appreciated by the kids. Different way of doing things. We also have a free Spanish program after school. It's offered once a week. Marie-Tanguay is one of the schools that has been selected by the school board to offer this program. It's free, and it's for kids from kindergarten to grade 6, so your child can learn French, English, and Spanish while he is or she is at Marie-Tanguay. We also have a healthy snack program, so teachers and staff will go out and buy healthy snacks for the kids in the morning. We prepare everything in the kitchen, and then they send it out to the classroom. Of course, this year it's not as extensive as it used to be, but it's something that we plan on bringing back when we can. We also have meal services, hot meal services, just to give you a break once in a while. If it's your first child at school, you don't know this yet, but lunches will take their toll on you. Be going on Sunday night and saying, "Oh, tomorrow we need to do lunch again." If it's your second or third child, you're hoping for these kind of opportunities to skip a meal and just go through the online portal and buy a slice of pizza or something. So we have different providers in the area of Cornwall that will offer meals to the kids 3 or 4 times a week. You can choose just the one meal a day if you want, or a full week of meals. It's really up to you. So we just go online and you select what you want. And but again, this year we don't have that program. We intend to bring it back. We have tried to bring it back, but we have to work with the health unit on this, so we're not up there yet. We also have English teaching and franchisation in our school because, yes, some of our students are more familiarized with English than they are with French. So what we do is we just have a program just to get them up to par, just to teach them some French words, some French sentences to help them catch up and understand and be integrated and participate as best as they can in class. We also have Intramural Sports at lunchtime, so they will go in gym and have different activities depending on their age group and on the day of the week. Since it's a Catholic school, we have pastoral themes and preparation for the sacraments, so we do work around pastoral themes in order to teach them the Christian values of our school system. At Christmas time, we did have collecting some cans and dry goods just for the community. That went well. We did manage to do it safely with COVID-safe protocols. That was a different challenge, but I thought it was very important for the kids. You know, people are going through a rough time, but some people are going through it without food. So it's very important for us to do what we can. So we try to help out the community as much as we can. We also prepare them for their first communion and other sacraments in school. We also have a service before and after school for type of babysitting. It's a different entity from the school. It's separate, but we are working in partnership with the daycare center, which is built in the school, and they're also using some of our classrooms. So it's a nice partnership that we have. And we're also using the SCP program, which is Positive Behavior Reinforcement, where we work more to promote the behaviors that we want to see in the kids instead of punishing them. But don't worry, we still punish them as much as we can. Now, what we work with rewards. We found studies show that the kids will do better if they get rewarded for a good behavior. We'll try to do it again. This is why you'll have your kid come home at night and say, oh, today I had a lunch with my friend, or tomorrow I can have lunch with my friend. It's a privilege that they got for doing what they were supposed to do. So that's a program that we use to encourage them to do the right thing. We also have, or had last year, a hockey program with the Ottawa 67s for the older kids. We also including with the other Catholic school, French Catholic school in the area, which are Notre Dame and Saint Lucie. You'll find that we do a lot of activities with those two schools. We share common values, and it helps our kids to mingle with other French kids in the area. So it's a nice situation for Marie-Tanguay to have those two schools to work with. So we share lots of ice time or soccer time or other activities. We share buses, so it cuts the cost of transportation to activities. We are looking into a different program with the Ottawa 67. Instead of going with the Ottawa 67, we are looking at something else. But not for this year. We're trying to get it going for next year. We also have a soccer program with the l'Impact de Montréal, again including Saint Lucie and Notre Dame. And also last year there were two players of the Fury, the Ottawa team, that came and spent some time with the kids. Different workshop on soccer. A nice thing that we have at Marie-Tanguay is the staff. We have a large staff, a professional staff, well-educated staff, people that are implicated, that are there for the kids. A lot of know-how, different ideas, a very motivated staff. So far, I'm very impressed with the people at this school. They're very good. They're very dedicated. We're always ready to help and do the extra mile for your child. It's a safe place. Also, it's in a bit of a remote area within the city. I don't know if you've ever been to Marie-Tanguay, but we have a nice big backyard for the kids. It's surrounded by trees, almost in the middle of a forest. Oh, there's some construction going on, but it's still a very, very nice area. It's peaceful, a very beautiful and large classroom. We have an art class, a music class, 21st century robotics, Chromebooks and iPads, especially like robotics, little robots from which the kids can learn to solve problems and just to get them motivated to learn and play with those little robots. Something I want to do more and buy more of next year. Chromebooks, we have 75 or 80 Chromebooks available for the kids starting from grade 3, because the kids from kindergarten, first grade, and second grade it's easier for them to work with iPads, so we have a series of iPads for them. But we were able, when the school closed, to provide all the kids needed with a tool with a Chromebook. So we have a pretty good stock of Chromebooks. We have a safe bus landing. It's a remote area away from the main street. So buses go there. When they drop off the kids, the teachers and staff are there. Mr. Stefan is always there. So we can greet your kids, and then we can bring them back safely to the bus in the evening when they're in the afternoon when they're done. We also have the daycare service in the school after and before school. The kindergarten program, with the expertise that allows us to paint a more complete profile of the child and to better understand them globally. We try to work with their abilities and just have them discover their interests and experiment and explore and use their imagination. There's 2 people in a classroom usually. We have a teacher and an educator that works with kids. Together they will organize different activities to help your kids overall development. So it's a nice program. It's a very active program. And then again, usually there are two adults in the classroom for a group of kids. The classes start at 8:15 in the morning and they end at 2:35 in the afternoon. It's on a schedule of 10-day cycle from day 1 to day 10, and then we start over. We have a 60-minute lunch recess at noon. So they eat and then they go outside. With COVID, we did have to modify a bit in our schedule, but they still get that 30 minutes to eat and 30 minutes outside. They have a 15-minute break in the morning. They don't have a recess in the afternoon because most of the time, for a long period of time, at the beginning of the year, they will have a nap in the afternoon. And since they have lunch from 12 to 1, and they finish at 2:35, the afternoon is kind of cut off with the nap, so a recess wasn't necessarily needed at that time. They have the equivalent of physical education and art twice a week, so they don't. Well, at that age, they have a lot of arts and they move a lot in the classroom. So, but they do have a different period in gym class, so they step outside of the class to do gym. Art class, they'll do it in the classroom. The important thing with the school and the parents is the communication, which is essential to the success of the kids. It's a nice partnership that we must have between the family and the school. We do work with emails. You'll see that parents, that teachers use another platform called Class Dojo that will help you see what's going on in the classroom and what they're doing. It's easier to communicate with you, but email is always a nice way to communicate. They will answer you within 48 hours, depending on the schedule that they have that day. If it's an emergency or something very urgent, you can always call the school. But for the teachers of kindergarten, pre-K, they tend to be quite quick on the email if you write to them. Also have monthly communication to the parents regarding what's going on at the school, what's coming up. We also have communications from the school board, but you'll get some information coming out from me or from other staff members once a month. And then again, you can just call the school if you have a question. There's a teaching team also, like I said, there's the teacher and educators, but there are other people in the school that might work with your kids. Especially like the teacher that will, if your child needs help with French, there's going to be a teacher that's going to help learning new vocabulary and just helping him out to catch up on some French. So there might be other staff members working with your kids. You can always communicate with them at all times. When you have questions, we do have some answers for you. We also have other services at school, like a resource teacher. There's a teacher that works with kids. If you see that your child is struggling with certain aspect of his learning, and if we see it also, we'll communicate with you, and the resource teacher might be involved to help her out with some of the difficulties or challenges that he or she may have. We have a support staff, educator, teacher, assistant, the ALF service, which is French lessons, like I said, for just a catch up. We also have a Catholicity-wise, we have Father Jean that comes around. This year, he's doing online visits with the kids. He's planning something right now with a Google Classroom to meet all the kids, talk about also the sacraments that are coming up. We also have what we call the EMS, is an intervenant in school. It's a school worker. What she does is mostly for older kids, usually regarding mental health. Sometimes some kids deal with anxiety or other stress, so that person may help to find ways to cope. We did have this year with COVID, we did put something in place because some of the kids are confined to home, and it's sometimes harder for them to cope with that. So we have that service available for the kids. We also have school educators, other than the ones that are in class. We have Madame Karine, Madame Claudine, and Madame Mylène, that are other people that may work with children on a day-to-day basis. Introduction to the School Life program, which we don't know how it's going to go this year. We haven't planned it yet because we are waiting to see what's going on with COVID. We're also waiting to see how the health unit is going to support us with that, what are going to be the recommendations. So the format needs to be determined. What it does, though, it allows your child to learn about school, build positive relationships with their peers, and prepare them for their arrival at school. So what we do is we take them to school for half a day, and we make them live the school schedule for half the day. So they might be able to find new friends and just get ready for the classroom. If it's your first child going to school, it's a stressful moment for you, but it's also a stressful moment for them because they don't quite know what to expect. If it's your third child, you just can't wait to go to school. He knows the other two has paved the way for them, so it's going to be very different. I can remember my first child and my third child. There was a very different situation. But we do understand that it can be stressful for a child to start school. So with these programs, what we're trying to do is just to get them familiarized with the environment and just understand what's going on, so that when they come to school in September, they're ready for that. Some more information will follow by email, which is why in the chat, don't forget to go to the form and try to fill out the information so we can communicate with you. If you can't do it by the form for some reason, on the website, Marie-Tanguay, if you Google Marie-Tanguay, you'll be able to find our website, and then there's on the roll down menu, inscriptions, which is the second last one. You'll be able to file some information regarding the registration, and from there I can communicate with you. You can also send me an email at school or use the school email address. I get these email, and I can send you or answer your questions or guide you through the rest of the process. A way you can help your child prepare for school, depending who speaks French in your family, try to speak French to your child as much as you can. Read stories in French, watch TV shows in French, make them listen to song and nursery rhymes in French. Just expose them as much as possible, just so they recognize word and it's not too unfamiliar when they come to school. For us in Ontario, for a French community, it's very easy for us to learn English. We're exposed to it all the time, so French is a little bit more difficult if you're not exposed to it as often. So just expose them as much as you can, and it'll help them a lot. For transport services, the buses will be running depending on your area, but for young kids who start school, transportation is always offered unless you want to drop them off at school yourself. We have an area for that, but if you decide that your child will take the bus, the service will be offered by the consortium, which is an independent entity from the school board that takes care of transportation for all the school in Eastern Ontario. You'll have to register your child on the website by April 30th, but we'll help you out. In some cases, we even do it for you. You will get a call during the summer to tell you what the route is, what the pickup time is, when the drop-off time is. Mind you that the first week, these times are just a suggestion because they're running out the routes and trying to see catch up from time and traffic and different locations where you have to pick up and reorganize the routes. So time in the first week is always hit or miss, But after the second week, you'll pretty much see what time the buses pass. It's pretty much always at the same time. What we also try to do is to get a school bus at school before the end of the year, and we invite your child to take a bus ride, just to familiarize them with the getting on and off the bus, and just a quick ride, just so that they can see what it's like to take the bus. So it's a very fun for them, and it's something that we're going to try to organize again this year, depending on the situation, how we can do it and manage. When you wish to register your child, you'll hand in the registration form to the main office, usually in paper, but not this year. You'll see on the web page there's a link for a quick registration form where you can get some information, and then I'll get back to you using email. But there's also a form there, a complete form that gives you the steps on how to register, because there are different scenarios. If the child is not baptized, but you are, the child can come to school without having a different registration form. If none of the parents or the child is baptized, if you're in the Christian family, a different denomination, you'll be able to come to school. If not, we just have to go through a committee and see, just ask a few questions and see if your child qualifies for a Catholic school. It's usually just a process that we have to go through. Same with language. If one of the parents is French and went to school in French, it's not a problem. If you already have a child at school right now in a French Catholic school, it's not a problem either. It's just if nobody speaks French in the family, that can sometimes we need to go through a different registration form. So just see what applies to you. If you have any question, again, just give us a call. If you're not sure, just fill out everything and we'll sort through it. Make sure that you choose the forms for the elementary school. There could be one for high school, but I think we took him out of the process. We also have a possibility of visiting the classrooms in the school. For that, we still have to wait and see if it's possible. Again, for the school preparation program, which will be 2 mornings in May, where we take your kid to school for half a day. Like I said, just to get him accustomed to what's going on and make him understand get him ready so it's not a surprise when he comes to school. He'll know what to expect. In June, we'll send you a list of equipment that you need for the school. Usually it's a backpack, shoes, and a blanket for rest. The rest is crayons, markers, glue, scissors. All of that is provided by the school, so you don't need to buy anything for school, just personal equipment. And we also have a staggered entry. We don't take all the kids at once on the same day. We make little groups, and that way we can get to know them and really take care of them that day, go through a whole day with them, and then the next day they stay home. And then we take another group, and by the end of the week, every kid is at school. So we just do it slowly for the younger kids. So right now what I'll do is I'll give you a virtual tour of the school or the main areas that your young kid or your kindergarten pre-K will attend during the school day. So then we have a big, nice gym where kids can run and just spend energy and play and have fun. So it's not too far from the classroom either. So it's always accessible for them. Sometimes in the gym class, depending on the weather, they sometimes will go outside and play, especially in the spring and the fall when it's nice and warm. In the classroom, they have little sections. If you see there, you have like 2 sides separated by a small kitchen. So they have different activities. Yeah, we teach them to wash the dishes, but for some reason it doesn't stick. They forget when they leave school, but we teach them really. So they can play there, different games. They have different work assignments. Sometimes they work in groups, sitting down, but sometimes they'll be up and running. Well, not running, but walking around and playing and not sitting at their place to work. Then they have the locker room inside the classroom where they put their lunch box, their coat and shoes. I know at home the floor is a perfectly good place to put your clothes, but at school we try to teach them to use the hooks and the proper area to put their stuff away. And then we have a big classroom divided in different sectors. Like I said to the other group before, the arrows on the floor are for the health and safety regulations regarding COVID. They have a certain distance between them. Even though kids are not required to wear masks, so we do have some measures that are in place to ensure their safety. They're not arrows like in Mario Karts just to go faster. They're just for safety reasons. We have a little, also a little type of living room where they have small couches. You can sit down and play with books and other stuff. If you see, they also have little backs of trays of all kinds of stuff. They have Play-Doh in there. They have markers. Again, because of COVID, each kid has their own tray with cover, and they play with their own stuff. So we keep it as safe as possible, and we want to make sure that we respect the health unit recommendation. At this point, I'll have Monsieur Stéphane show you, if it's possible, a video that we had made this year for the school. So I'll let Stéphane try to figure this out.
Good evening, everybody. I'll do my best. Okay. For some reason, it's not working. I'll try again. I'll just let it play without music. Sorry about the volume, the music, but that's the best I could do for tonight.
Yeah, if you want to see the whole video, because it's a nice video that gives you a good idea of what the school life is like in different areas in the school, it's on our web, not on our web page, but on our Facebook page. If you want to know what's going on at school, if you want some more information, for dates coming up and different activities or things, information, just go like the Facebook page and just you'll get the information. Follow us on Facebook and you'll be able to get all the information that you need for the upcoming events. At this time, if you have any questions, we'll be more than happy to answer. And just if you have any comments or anything else, information that you need, please feel free to ask, and we'll do our best to answer. So I'll leave you the floor.